No.
We are recording.
All right. Yeah, sure. My updates are pretty simple. It's just more updating content on social media, continuing giving a little bit of feedback on the branding decisions for Rev, trying to get that guest post article through, and engaging more around the discussions of some sort of bounty program. But there seems to be there's definitely that friction point of it. We always go back to it, the approval process, and when they exceed the $600 amount. So I have a spreadsheet that I created for just like a simple experiment for content, because it seems to be one of the easiest thing to collaborate around. So if we want to, as a community, like review those bounties, I put them in there for June, then maybe we can submit a proposal and get it official, and then I'll draft something up on GitHub, like that Spectrum thing did that Kevin shared in I think it was announcements. But maybe they're going to occupy that wiki for the Casper bounty program that Greg wants to run. I don't know. We'll see in the Hangout. But yeah, essentially that's most of my updates. So what about you, Jim? Well, any questions or anything else I want to? Sorry.
No. The side of it I'm working on more is our sponsored tokens. We now have 3 sponsors at least, and we're looking to fund activities. Right now, we're working on, or we're the parity wallet enhancements for RChain. And I've shown you that before. Basically what they have now, and I guess I'll show it quickly, is hello. We have the rock distribution, which actually we have Jacob coming online to help manage, along with the work studies, where we're currently working on the parity. Parity enhancements, and what that involves is using the parity wallet as a dashboard, with having right now it's suggested to have onboarding steps here that get checked off as people on board, hazard accounts, and we have accounts for the identity, development of identity, and we have a budget also for rock activists. And of course, this will be the person's address book, so we can send rocks easily among each other. And it'll keep the applications that we use, and we'll be looking at custom applications down the road, and the contracts which we use. And of course, we can run the contracts from here. We can also develop Ethereum contracts and deploy them. We have the status of our node. We have, I guess, the signer, or transactions we signed, and we have what facilities we're going to have with our dashboard. Now, in an account, like in my account here, we have verify here, and we do a SMS verification. We can do an SMS verification of the phone number and the email verification, and we want to add to that postal verification, where we use an e-card service to send them a card by email, which will have a code on it, which will correspond to their member hash. Hey, Gary, good to see you. And possibly verifying other factors for KYC and MLN. Or wait, yeah. Greetings. And
this is nice. So this is for, is this active right now? Like,
well, this is the plain parity wallet. Okay, what we've been doing is downloading the source code and building it, and we've been having some issues. So we're looking for more people willing to learn some little system management and help debug this and put in tickets or whatever to resolve issues that we have in using it, and then essentially making the modifications that we want, adding the things that we want to add to make it the dashboard for the RChain community. And this work is currently going on in our Mattermost test, our Mattermost instance. There's a dashboard channel, and there's an identity channel, and in the content channel, I started experimenting with decision support mechanisms that we can employ using Mattermost and establishing, in essence, the teams to work on stuff and manage the activities, and working toward eventually using the social ledger integration that we're using with Big Life as a means of underpinning of a task reward system and of managing the circle activities or the team activities involved in projects, which I've demonstrated some of those capabilities before. They're advancing now, employing self-management principles where the fabric of the organization is made with peer-to-peer agreements. Now, there's no leader, everyone's a leader. They lead their own work and just have peer-to-peer agreements with other people. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, this is great work, Jim. I always, I got to get into Mattermost more. I'm clicking and entering these chats now. Dashboard. I see the content weaving. This is exciting. You're on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm moving the noob study group on Thursdays to 2 o'clock due to family considerations. I'm looking for ways to get more people who are, want to be self-reliant and be able to install and run these things themselves to participate in this. The issues that come up, well, we need to find people that are willing to learn a little system administration and want to learn about these tools and things we're doing. And of course, parity is one of them. Gary posted a thing on the React, and I'm excited to try that too. That can become part of a node for a member, which would give us a decentralized ledger, basically, a decentralized database that we can use in the interim before we have RChain. So I'm, excited about it, and Divi's working on something similar. I'm hoping DigLife will collaborate with us more. I mean, the social ledger is wonderful that's coming out of there, and I'm sure that we'll want to use it. It's still a work in progress. It's not ready, but we can still follow the principles of the ideas without having the software and be ready for it. That's my update, I guess.
Yeah, I agree, and that was a great update. What's up, Gary? What's up, Kit? Do you guys have any updates?
My only update is, as far as the transcript project, I found a very useful tool, a tool that I was in myself in software. One of the big parts of the transcript project would be the capability to edit transcripts somewhat interactively. Well, YouTube already provides that capability by turning on the community development flag on the video. The owner of the video has to turn it on, though. So I guess we'll have to try it with some of our own videos first. I've played with editing videos that YouTube offered up to me from communities that are looking for help editing the captions on their videos. But anyway, that's my update as far as the transcript project goes.
I was wondering, maybe this meeting and perhaps other member meetings might be good to experiment with. You can post them on sites we control, like the Divi channel. Or our own personal sites, whatever.
Yes, we can experiment with it, and that would be a good project for the noob class. And also, yes, you've already advanced my understanding of React, but I agree that it's something we ought to look at. I didn't know if it would fit into what we were doing or not.
I've been investigating a lot of alternatives for our distributed database. And, clearly Ethereum is a back end that we plan to use for some of our stuff. But until we have RChain, it's not going to be sufficient. And so the back end for our decentralized applications is clearly something that we need to accommodate. And today, with browser-based applications, having a React backend gives us a good environment for our decentralized applications. And already our parity browser is largely browser-based, but it's running against our own Ethereum node, parity node. It makes it, it's a very nice, when we need to save state, React is a good way to do it.
Right.
Okay, Kit, how about yourself? Any updates on the FAQ or anything else you'd like to give updates on?
Yeah, let me turn on the AV here. I'm on my phone today. Yeah, my only update is the FAQ is somewhat done, and I think it would be good if other people looked at it. In my personal opinion, it needs more polishing, but I have an answer to every question, and I'm not sure about what the next step is. I could easily post a link to it in Slack, which would bring lots of people to look at, but I thought maybe we should first have a look at it ourselves, and by ourselves I mean the activists. And I don't know, maybe it should go to the board of directors or something, or maybe later. What do you think?
First of all, great job. Thanks. Yeah, what I would do is post it as, or reply as like a follow-up in one of the GitHub issues. Sorry, there's lawnmowers going off everywhere. But yeah, say, hey, I'm done, and then we could post a link in the Slack, yes, for feedback for sure. And then in order to quote unquote finalize it official, I'll send like an email to some of the board of directors with it. And if they agree that it's publishable, then we'll post it as like on GitHub or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, there's a bunch of details.
Did that come through? Did you hear that?
Yeah, that was clear for me. There's a bunch of details probably need review. Like, I'm not really familiar with the history of the scenario split, but I wrote something there just to have something, and so maybe somebody that had lived through that experience wants to adjust it or something. But yeah, I'll first post something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is this in a Google document or on GitHub?
Yes, it's linked on GitHub in issue 60.
It's a Google document?
Yes.
Okay.
So,
and then anybody can comment?
Yeah, anybody can. Yeah, anybody can edit. In fact, if you read it and you think of a new question or something, just add it right in. But I'll post a message in this issue, and
in regards to the scenario stuff, we'll probably
say that again.
Sorry, I'm cutting in and out. I missed what you said at the end.
I'll post a message in GitHub, and then I'll wait a day, and then I'll post a message in Slack.
That's a great idea. Thanks, Kit.
Okay, then I'll do that soon, like today.
Perfect. Yeah. So HA is not here to give operational updates. Are we the only ones in? Yeah, us four. Is there any other things you guys like to talk about, or we just cut it in half this time and see you guys in 30 minutes?
I'm interested in anyone's thoughts on Greg's uh, AI bot that he's going to use to test the consensus algorithm. What uh, do we think? Do you expect him to address that today? And what sort of input should we provide in regards to that AI bot, chess playing AI bot? Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
So he'll definitely bring that up in the hangout today. But right here, I have the message pulled up from July 10th. I'm interested in discussing with the community the idea of beginning to organize bounties around building this test framework as soon as the rolling Casper contracts are committed to GitHub. So what he's going to be looking for is organizing bounties for this test framework. So that can either be tied into the larger bounty discussion, or that will probably be handled by the dev team. But that's probably where the input's going to be most valued, is how to build out this test framework. But it seems interesting to me. I don't know enough about like the details, but I read through everything, and it's pretty cool. The chess and the Go game as consensus is very interesting.
Yes, one thought I had when I was thinking about it was, it seems like to me that checkers would have been a easier game to model, but again, I'm willing to go with his ideas on it because, well, I don't even know the game Go. I don't know the rules on that, so that wasn't very interesting to me. But it sounds like
excuse me, neither do I, but all I know about it's like,
oh, Patrick, you went on mute, but yeah, what I'm interested in is that Greg has expressed interest in artificial intelligence, and that an artificial intelligence agent would be one of the first projects he would suggest for the community. And that, as I look back on a lot of the papers in this space, I seem to see a similar thread of interest in artificial intelligence. That is the papers that are relevant to what we're doing here before the blockchain, Satoshi's invention. That may be getting too deep for any sort of comment, but anyway, I'll shut up now.
Yeah, I mean, I sort of see.
I mean, those are great.
Yes, Patrick's coming in and out there too. But I sort of see this as, deep learning about the consensus protocols, so that all of the strategies have been applied. The game on top is sort of like you say, the platform doesn't matter. I guess I presume the aim was to get something that was chaotic enough in general and have a very complex strategy. And those strategies are sort of a stochastic method of looking for analogous strategies in the consensus protocol.
Jim, you're on mute.
I see Patrick has no audio. He's having trouble. All right, Jake is here. Can you, can we get your update?
Not too much new from me here. I was out last week. I was trying to scroll through a little bit of the Uport documentation today and see what they have going on for identity solutions there. It looks like they have a lot of stuff that would be really useful. It's in the pipeline. But yeah, I don't really know how far they are at in terms of some of that stuff. So.
Yeah, well, you saw where the Swiss government is issuing Uport identities to all the citizens?
Yeah, pretty neat.
Pretty awesome. Now, Parity has mentioned plans to incorporate Uport. I don't know if you've seen any of the stuff on the on using Parity as a dashboard for the activists. Please?
No. Yeah, and I've been a little confused about that because Parity is like an Ethereum client, right?
Right.
So what does it mean to be an RChain dashboard?
Well, essentially, we're a rock-based community, which is a Ethereum token, and there's features that we can use, like verifying SMS and email verification that we can attach to an Ethereum identity. Okay. We onboard in here. When they sign up, they get some rocks, and they create an account. We have budgets now. I went over this before for rocks and identity. People have their address book, so we can contact each other. We have the applications that we use on Ethereum, and we can put our own other applications on the menus here. We just modify the screens. The Ethereum contracts we use, okay, we can develop. It has a developer interface for developing contracts and deploying contracts. Status of our node, and the settings of what we choose to have on our top menu. So the idea is that we would be tailoring this for the RChain community, and as an onboarding tool and supporting the community. But that's, one of what we're working on in the work studies, and sorry to repeat that for other people. Yeah, thoughts on that, Jake?
I mean, yeah, that's interesting. That's cool. I think that we should make sure that any solution, we're not building it just for parity. I think a lot of web distributed applications, they'll work just fine in like the Mist browser as well, which I think that's what that screen you were showing was with all those apps. And there's similar ways in Mist to link your identity and any other client, even if it is like a light client that someone might want to use, or connecting to it via a normal browser without a full node setup like MetaMask or something like that. I think, we should keep those sorts of solutions in mind as well.
Yeah, I think that there's really no dependency on it. It's just a matter of convenience.
Sure, right, yeah. It's kind of like, these days, right, Parity and Mist, they're sort of like Chrome or Firefox, right? You should be building a site that's compatible with all of them.
Well, I know maybe I'm wrong, but I mean, this is sort of like a home for browser-based applications. I like it running in the browser, but
yeah, right. So Parity is a browser, right? Or at least you're using it as a browser and a wallet app sort of combined.
It runs actually runs in the browser.
Mm-hmm.
And it's accessing Parity on your local machine.
Right. But yeah, that's not the way that it has to work, right? So any sort of decentralized site that you create that has the ability to like accept payments and sign transactions and stuff, that can be served and integrated with things besides just Parity. It can be integrated with MetaMask, where you don't actually have to install a third-party program. That's sort of, they take care of the node behind that and the wallet behind that for you. There's some solutions that I think might be a little bit easier for users who aren't as technically inclined.
I agree with you that MetaMask is kind of cool, in that it works in the browser totally. But in terms of installing Parity, I mean, it's basically a one-button install. It's not like it takes any technical skill to do it, and has the advantage of running your own node.
Yeah, I mean, some people would say that taking up bandwidth and that much disk space and gigabytes of disk space is inhibitive.
It's interesting. I haven't seen that this takes up a lot of space, but check that out. It doesn't keep a copy of the blockchain.
It doesn't? Okay.
So what the status of that is at the moment is that the shell scripts that it downloads have return characters in them, and so when I try to run that's what it did before. Cargo, it's behaving differently now. But essentially, we have the source code, and we're looking to add modifications to it, and develop the contract for postal address verification.
And Jake, we have a identity working group which is trying to make progress on this, and it meets on Saturdays at 11 o'clock New York time. So if you're interested, you could join actually this Zoom meeting and participate further.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'm not sure that I will be able to make that, unfortunately.
Okay. We publish notes and a recording if you want to catch up.
Okay, that'd be nice. Where are those published?
In a Google Doc right now, actually. We have a log of all the meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, the link to the log is entered periodically in the new programming group channel.
Okay.
And we've also, last time we published the notes right in the Slack identity channel just to save a click.
Ah, got it.
So you can see the notes from the last one last Saturday.
Okay. Great. Yeah, I see
Good.
that.
Well, actually, let me turn on my video again. There's one little point I just posted in both Mattermost and Slack, which is, I wonder if anybody has the knowledge to create a Slack bot or a Mattermost bot, where whenever we get a new user, we can, maybe wait a few minutes and then send them a little message that might contain links to useful stuff or something. So that's posted in co-op on the Slack and general on Mattermost. And I'm pretty sure it's possible. We just need someone who wants to, dig into the AI or something. But this kind of connects to that mail that HJ sent around, I don't know, a week and a half ago as a possible welcome message for new activist members, whereas the bot in the discussion channel would basically say hi to any member. So give it some thought.
That welcome bot could easily be tied to Greg's chess playing AI bot as far as the project goes.
Okay. That could become a very intelligent welcome bot, but yeah. Yeah, it would be great if you could ask questions to the bot and get intelligent answers back.
It would be easy for the bot to give the answers provided in the FAQ.
Oh. It could chime in, see certain key phrases or something, key questions. Yeah. That's nice.
Jim, I had a question for you on that REAC. Did you understand what he meant when he said in the video that distribution was built into Erlang, but then later he said you wouldn't use this protocol for a wide area network? Did that make any sense to you?
Um, it makes sense in that uh, if you're running React in order to get a very responsive system, you don't want to extend the network beyond where you need it. So, you wouldn't make a monolithic React database for everything on the internet. I think that's what he was saying.
But that statement didn't diminish your estimation of React.
Well, I mean, it makes me think about the limits. But the fact is that it's a very fast
Virtual machine.
fully decentralized database. Okay, so you have a cloud. Okay, and I think of it more as a VPN, where you have a shared database with a limited number of people, but potentially large number of people. So I would segment it. I mean, there is a segmenting. There is a desire to segment it and use a separate database for separate things.
Okay. Now I see where you're going with this. Okay.
Hey guys, this is Navneet. Sorry I'm late today. I got engaged with the other meeting here, so sorry about that.
Welcome.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys continue. I will, jump in as. So I think you guys already know that, right? SJ has gone on vacation to Peru. So.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, that's very nice.
So, we've all given an update. You have an update, Naveed?
Yeah, sure. Let me pull up my register. Other day, what we are talking about. So from a marketing campaign point of view, I think Patrick is already doing something. So I think what we talked last time, that I'm going to talk to Patrick about some of the, what we can do from an activist point of view. And I think, Jim, did you get a chance to talk to Ian about the license and hosting? I think Mattermost is already working, right? So I'm not sure how much actively participation going on at this moment.
The licensing of Mattermost is part of it is under the MIT. At MIT, it's
right.
compiled code license.
Right.
So that their pay-for features are come in compiled form.
Uh-huh.
But the free version is always free. There is, I think there's a consideration there. I think that the potential of working with Mattermost and cooperating with them outweighs, their economic model, so to speak. We certainly can use it for free, and there's a possibility of cooperatively with them doing extending the capabilities of Mattermost.
Right. So I think one of the things, probably I'm just speculating. I'm not sure if Greg is going to talk about the bounty program, because one of the message I saw, he mentioned that the testing framework he wants to use for Casper. So my take is that might spawn bunch of community driven bounty sort of programs, and I don't think I know how it's gonna work out, but I think we can figure it out. How that can be leveraged for the community purpose, or basically engaging more community members and spreading it out. I think we already talked about it, right? So how to verify, I think verify 1 and verifier 2 kind of thing, 2-step process to verify any community work being done or something like that. Basically some checks and balances, right?
Yeah, Kid completed some work on the FAQ, and it's open for community evaluation now. We haven't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the GitHub issue, I just sent out a message, so anybody who's subscribed to that should get an invitation to have a look at the FAQ and do some editing. So that went out seconds ago.
Yeah. So one issue here is how we proceed with it in terms of getting it to the point of being published. I think Patrick is going to take care of that with the board of directors. I guess once we all have had a chance to comment or add stuff, whatever. And there's a question of how we reward people for working on this thing. I think that we should be providing some rocks for these kinds of activities. In principle, just to help get more rocks out in the community, and some of us are sponsoring rocks for this purpose.
Right. So from a co-op point of view, what I see, things are a little slow at this moment, right? I mean, I don't think we have an organization around co-ops efficiently. I mean, there's no efficient organization around co-op at this moment, right? And I think as time progresses, most likely, a proper organization will come out of it. I think SJ may have a little more leeway how to lead some of the work from a community point of view, right? I mean, Jim, I appreciate that, so far you have been sponsoring some of those kind of things, and definitely I see down the road we would need more engagement from co-op also, and more involvement. Engagement mean more, not only financial involvement, actually some sort of leadership engagement also, because coming from co-op and with some aligned goal would be the best way to move forward, right? I mean, at this moment what we are doing is sort of just trying something so that at least we keep moving and keep progressing on this front, right? And apart from that, I think I don't have much update. And I think that article, I think Ed already provided the feedback, right, on the scalability article. I don't know after that there was any update from Plant Eater or not, or there's no new version I recall was sent out. Do you guys have any visibility into that?
Well, I think it's sort of on hold. I mean, it may be there has been feedback and there may be revisions, but it may not be a time-sensitive thing at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that can be presented in multiple ways, right? I mean, of course, after the feedback, a independent person writing that article versus a person affiliate with the RChain writing an article, right? And probably, I think, let's see. I will see if I can talk to Patrick. I think we need to it stays these kind of steps in a way, you know, putting up articles in every week or every other week kind of thing, and start slowly creating a buzz. But the biggest hurdle for us at this moment, there's no visibility when the platform would be ready, right? I mean, we have been, I think, the optimist, the timeline is 6 months from now, I think, what I recall from some of the hangouts, right? What Greg mentioned. If we, based on that, when we start putting up, you know, these kind of articles in Medium or everywhere, I think would be helpful for us overall. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it would be good. You know, we are running a test in Mattermost now where we're trying to do these content discussion, trying to facilitate the content creation process and delivery. If you have an opportunity, please join the content, or you've probably been joined to the content.
Yeah, I'm already in there. I'm in RChain actually.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And
So what we can do, we can create some, you know, content, what you call categories, right? So at this moment, I think the way I see a lot of people focus on the platform only. I think if we can have some use case for some D apps and write about the D apps would be a good idea. Like scalability is completely platform centric. And another is the, you know, ecosystem centric. Ecosystem would definitely involve all the D apps.
yeah, it's one of the aims in the dashboard development is to bring in other decentralized components and sort of create a an RChain members node, which might have the React database and parity and maybe the solid MIT solid component for decentralized applications. And it's time for our meeting. Goodbye.
Exactly.
See you in the other meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
see
guys.
you guys in the hangout.
See ya.
Yeah.